Welcome back to my channel. This is our STEM research video that will show all the students what is expected and what should be done with your STEM notebook for your entry regarding research. All right, so here we have our STEM notebook. Everyone should have it with their name, the year, and STEM project or STEM notebook. Either one is fine. So the first thing that has to happen is the students need to open up to the next available page that is in their notebook. And remember, we do use the backs of our notebook. And the very first thing that I want is a sticky note or a sticky tab to go here on the page to let me know where I am to be looking for the research journal entry or log entry. So you have to put something, a sticky note or a tab. I'm going to just use this little sticker here. I'm going to put it up here so that way I know that when I go to look at this particular notebook, I would look for the spot that has this, and that's where I would find my information. So the very first thing that has to happen is the date and the page number. So my last page number on this notebook was 3. So this would be page 4. I'm going to put the date, and yesterday's date was November the 1st. That's when we did this assignment. And I'm going to put page 4 down here at the bottom. All right, page 4 at the bottom. And now we're going to label this page research. In class, we did go over the PowerPoint, and there was notes that were in there. And for the students, I actually printed out the notes from the PowerPoint because I wanted your writing to be with regard to your consumer research and then your internet research, because we're going to use the two. So the first thing we're going to go over is useful vocabulary, and the students have this, and it says the useful vocabulary is a log. And a log is a written documentation of the scientific process as relates to the STEM project. This is the log, this notebook. Research, gathering of data, information, and facts for the advancement of knowledge. And then investigate is to study a topic. All right, so that was the very first thing that we went over. The students did have a read aloud about the research process. And there were some notes that came from that read aloud and also some background here. So we are going to talk about the World Wide Web. And this is the second piece of notes that the students got with regard to their notebook and the notes that they need to glue in. So these two should be on the same page, glued in their notebook. I'm going to go ahead and do that first, and then we'll read those notes. And if a student loses these notes, then they would need to just copy them from this video and get them written, because the expectation is that this is in there prior to your research, your consumer research T-chart. All right, so I have this, and then I'm going to glue the second one in here, and then we will go over it. Overlap them a little bit. All right, so those are in there. So this one says the internet has over 100 million websites, but not all are the same. Hold on, not glued on this side very well. There we go. When conducting internet research, look for sites that end in .edu, .org, and .gov. Websites that end in .com are for-profit and should only be used when researching items that the company has made. Never use Wikipedia. Although the website ends in .org, Wikipedia can be modified by any internet user, and it can take some time for the employees to correct the false information. So we talked about acceptable websites. The next piece of information is actually one more typed piece, and each group got their own. I'm going to label this page here. 11/1/21 because it is specific to the group. And then this for me would be page 5. So you number it whatever page number you're on. Remember, your pages could vary from mine. So this is the third piece of glued in information. And this is the list of acceptable websites. And it's different for each class because each class came up with different STEM topics. List of acceptable research websites. All right, and so that would be glued in here. Now, underneath this is where the homework task came from. So this would be my glued paper. Again, it depends on what class you're in. So that's why I'm not gluing it in here. All right, so now we're going to talk about consumer research. And consumer research or consumer research is research that you gain about a product, something that a consumer would like to know. So it is facts that a consumer, and a consumer is someone who buys things or consumes them, consumer would want to know about a product. All right, so this is the consumer research, and the 2 data sources were provided for every class. They're paper that they have to go through, and they have to locate 6 to 8 consumer facts. So things about the product that are important to someone who would buy it. So it depends on what group you're in. My morning group is doing the masks, the impenetrability of a mask. And then the other class is doing how much meat can a taco shell hold, like which ones are the most durable. So which taco shell is the most durable. And you have a T-chart for the 2 items that you're comparing. So this is item 1. And again, I'm just writing item because I'm not doing it specific for a project. I'm doing it just to help in general because I have some kids, actually I had quite a few kids that were out. And this is item 2. And you are required to get 6 to 8. Locate 6 to 8 consumer facts about each product. So I'm going to do an example from both of them. So for one group, they're doing the KN95 mask. And one of the facts about the KN95 mask is that it is a 5-layer mask. So that would be one fact about that item. You need to get between 6 and 8. Now, the other group is doing the taco shells, and you have some consumer information. And I don't want you to just copy down all the nutrients. You can pick things from the nutrients that are kind of important, might be the calories. And you'd have to list the actual calories. The total fat is something that might be important. And, total carbs, those are the carbohydrates. And your proteins, those are okay to list, but anything else isn't something that a consumer is completely worried about. So you might want to include the fact that it has 10 tortilla shells per package. That's a fact that's important to a consumer. These are things that are important to a consumer. All right, so that's what you're doing. Again, you need to do item 1 and item 2. 6 to 8 facts, consumer facts, okay, or consumer research on these two. Then we go to the next page. On the next page, I'm going to date 11/1/21, and I'm going to put my page number, and for me, that's page number 6. All right, and this is where I'm going to glue the sheet for item 1. So I'm going to put a big note here, glue sheet for item 1. All right, so I have that there. Now I'm going to go to the next available page, and I'm going to date and page number. It's page number 7. And this is where I'm going to glue the sheet for item 2. All right, so I have that information. Now I'm going to go to my next page, and this is the last portion of it. Again, the date. And most of the kids are doing it today, so I would put, or they've started it today, and my page number. So that was page 7. So this is page 8. And this is where I'm going to do my internet research. So I am going to label it internet research. And I have provided the children with websites and videos to look at and gather their research. So I've looked at them, and the kids are supposed to pick 2 of the websites, unless they have a good website, unless one of the websites answers everything for them, but they need to gain information. So for morning class, you're looking for information about how masks help the stop of COVID. So how do masks decrease the transmission of COVID? All right, so you want to answer that type of question. You might want to answer maybe when masks were made. So when, and you don't have to answer them all. You're just trying to get some background on masks themselves. When were masks invented? Maybe who invented them? You're answering, you're just getting background who invented masks. You're getting background who invented masks, about masks themselves, all right? And there are 5 websites to choose from. The afternoon class, you are writing 6 to 8 facts about the history of tacos. All right, so this is what is due for the research portion of our notebook. Again, you need to have something to show me where the page is for me to easily find it. You need to have, oops, that's the wrong side. You need to have the date. You need to have it labeled research, page number, have the 3 things that are supposed to be glued in. We have this note about consumer research, which are facts that a consumer would want to know about a product, because both of our projects are consumer projects. You need to have a T-chart for item 1 facts or consumer research and item 2 consumer research. And you need to locate 6 to 8 consumer facts about each product. The papers were supplied for you. Then you are going to glue in item 1. On the page after that, you're going to glue in the fact sheet on item 2. And then on the last page of research is your internet research. You will access that through Canvas. So log into Clever. All right, here, log into Clever. And remember, Clever from home. When you go to look for Clever from home, it is Clever SDHC. You have to get Clever, that's for Hillsborough County. You'll log into Clever, then you'll log into Canvas. Then you will click on the science card. Click modules. Then click it says research, and it'll say the class, afternoon class or morning class. You click that, and available in that are all of the links that you have to do your research. So this is the video on what we did in class for Research for STEM Fair. Thanks for watching.